Good morning, everyone. Well, Bill here. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I am in Iowa at the I-80 largest truck stop in the world. I started out a journey yesterday, and the first thing I did was got an oil change. I checked all my fluids. I checked my tire pressures. Everything was looking good. I got a haircut. I don't have much left, but it makes traveling a little easier for me, and I just really appreciate a short haircut. And this particular trip, I've learned from the last two trips that I've made a couple adjustments to things I didn't need to bring, things that, ooh, I'd really like to bring that. And here's the biggest thing. I finally saved up. I sold a bunch of toys, a guitar, and some man toys and things like that. And I got me a Bluetti Ac200P battery. So now I have a 200 watt hour battery, and it's in the back. I've actually run a nice motorcycle type of chain to it through one of the seat hooks that's there for the stow and goes with a master lock on it. Ran that through the handle. Hey, any deterrent that I can come up with if somebody's going to break a window or pop into my van when I'm not in it during a day hike or doing something, I'm going to try and slow them down. I don't know that it's, bulletproof or anything, but it is what it is. And it's there and in place now. I've got I stole Stacy's Hot Logic, the Mini, and I've got a little meal in that this morning at 7 o'clock. I put that in. So by the time that I'm ready for my first stop, I'll have a nice lunch ready for that. And with the Ac200P, I will be doing a review on that after this trip. This trip will be about 3 weeks long total. And I'll be doing a review on how that's doing for me for the CPAP, the laptops, the Keurig. I brought a Keurig now, so I have my Keurig back here. I'm going to make a cup of coffee when we get done here with this video. And my trip started in Michigan. I am in Iowa now. I'm on the way to Wyoming. I'll be right near Casper, Wyoming, visiting a friend of mine. I made like 5 stops already with things I was either dropping off for somebody or picking up for something. I picked up a old MacBook at a friend of mine's house. I stopped by another friend to get some paint that we're going to use to touch up Stacy's car because he painted the car. So I got some more of that paint so that I can touch that up for her. I stopped by my mom and my stepfather's grave out in Indiana. That was emotional, and I tell you, it took a physical drain and couldn't even think of the words to say while I was there other than, Happy Mother's Day, Happy upcoming Father's Day. I think what happens when I go to the gravesite, the overwhelming thought, the overwhelming phrase that comes to my mind is just thank you. Thank you for everything. See, I'm losing it here too. Just thank you. Thank you for so much that you did. And, the thing of it is now that I'm a dad and I'm a parent, I get it. When I was a kid, I didn't get it. I get it now. And biggest thing I could say when I go is just thank you. Thank you for everything. So, gotta straighten this up. All right, so the trip is going to start out in Casper, Wyoming, and I'm going to stay there for a couple days. Now, when my mom and dad passed, they left Stacy and I a bunch of, excuse me, I have to catch my voice here. They left us a bunch of timeshares, and we didn't want the timeshares themselves, so we actually gave those back and gave those out to other people, but they had banked a bunch of points and weeks for these timeshares through it's almost like a banking system. It's called RCI. So we own a bunch of points and weeks that we can use through RCI. And it's either use it or lose it. We lose them next year. So we started to just book a week here and there. We booked a week in Upper Michigan at Boyne Mountain last week and a half ago. And Stacy went on a hike every day and enjoyed herself. And I just kicked back and enjoyed the resort. And on this trip, I'm going to be near the Colorado, like by the Denver, Colorado area, in a place called Granby at a resort by the mountains. So I will be there alone for a week, and I'm actually I do web design, and I'm actually going to get caught up on a lot of work. I have a ton of work that I have to get transferred from one software to another, and it's page by page, link by link, item by item. So I'm going to be working on that, and I'll be there for a week in Granby enjoying this resort. I'll even show you guys the resort. We usually do a little mini walkthrough of these different timeshares, so if someone else is looking on YouTube or Google, they can find these places. After I get done with Granby, I'm going to go over by Denver and visit my half sister. I have a sister out there, and visit with her for a few days. And Stacy will be flying into Albuquerque to visit her brother towards the end of the month. I think somewhere around the 25th, 26th, something like that. So from Denver, I'll drive down to Albuquerque and hang out with her brother and her. And her birthday's coming up at the end of the month. She's going to be 50 on the 28th, and she's going to kill me. Anyway, so we're excited to meet up out there at her brother's in Albuquerque. And my plan and my desire is to come through the bottom of the United States. I want to go through Texas, especially. I want to check out the Plano area. There's 3 big Costco's out there, and Stacy is, as you know, if you've watched any of our videos, she works for Costco. She loves Costco. She actually works for the DNR as well, and does reservations for camping and stuff for people. So, but she loves her job, and hey, maybe I can get her to consider moving down south. I am done with the northern winters, let me tell you. I'm 53 years old, and I don't want to shovel snow anymore. I don't want to drive in it. I don't want to walk in it. Every year I fall and I keep thinking I'm going to break a hip or something. I'm ready to go somewhere warmer, somewhere south. So, hey, if I can sell her on Plano or somewhere out there, so be it. Even Albuquerque, I'd go out, down New Mexico or something. But the places I'd love to go, probably Texas, definitely North Carolina. We spent 2 weeks down in the Apex and Raleigh area, and I loved it, loved it, loved it. I wish I could get Stacy interested in going to North Carolina, because I would go home and pack now. I'd just turn the car around. I'm in Iowa right now, and I'd just turn around. I'd go back to Michigan, and I'd get some boxes, and I'd start packing. That's how serious I am. I just want to be somewhere south. I like south. We went to the Smoky Mountains maybe a couple months ago, and really enjoyed it out there in Tennessee. Again, trying to get her interested in going south. So a lot of the trips that we make, I try and plan them for down south. So anyway, on that trip home, we haven't got a defined path yet, but I do want to go through the upper part of, go through Amarillo, come down by Dallas area, which Plano is a little bit north of Dallas. I also have a half sister down there just a little south of Dallas, so I want to try and run into her too. Maybe have a quick dinner or lunch, depending on what time of day we're coming through and if she's available. And like to run into her, and Stacy would meet her for the first time as well. And on our trip home, coming back up, I do want to clip the corner of Tennessee and go back to, I think it's Dyersville or New Bern is where my dad's gravesite is, that I just went to when I went down to Mississippi. And I'd like to kind of go there with Stacy real quick. And it was actually a great little town. I had gone like 3 or 4 places that day and really enjoyed myself down there. So maybe I could sell around Tennessee too. You never know. But yeah, so that's my trip in a nutshell. And there is no defined path on this, except for the timeshare time that I have to be there from this date to this date. I think that's the 15th to the 22nd. But other than that, it's kind of a wing it trip. I don't like to do a lot of pre-planning. I know my route and I know what's going on, but I tend to not really try and stay to a strict schedule, only for disappointment and for the opportunities. Because sometimes you go buy something, you're like, oh, let's check this out. It might kill half a day. It might mess up your drive. It might mess up, the plan if you have it all on paper. Yeah, for me, I'd just rather go with it. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. And in general, I try and hit as much as I can during that trip and that time. Like on this trip, I went and stopped and even got a little pizza out in Indiana where we grew up. I really like that place, and just thought, you know, I'm going to have some pizza. So stopped there and got a pizza. That was impromptu, but I was close. I was like 9 miles away. So I'm like, you know, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to get my little pizza. I've changed some things up in the van. I've got my Alpi-Cool little C20 refrigerator sitting in the front seat. I was trying to save some foot space in the back. Between the bed and everything, you start losing foot space quickly. Obviously, in a minivan, if any of you guys used minivans, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I put it up in the front seat. It got plenty of airflow, and I've got it on one of the stupid car trays. That stupid car tray is amazing. I have two of them in the car right now. One is in the front seat, and it's holding the Alpi-Cool level on the seat, and I can access it, open it, close it, everything right here from the driver's seat. It's pretty darn handy. I can totally see over it and see out the window because that's real important to me. Here, I'll even take this off and kind of show you. Even though everything's a mess right now because I've been messing around, I like things clear and clean. And there's my Alpi-Cool right there. And he is on a little level stupid car tray. And that car tray thing, let me tell you, works wonderfully. Put my phone back. Yeah, it works great though. And then the other one I have is in the back for my CPAP. And it's kind of jury-rigged in there with a little piece of foam that Stacy figured out how to do. And when you push it down in there into that foam, it stays solid. I'm going to leave the CPAP on the stand back there. And I guarantee you, even hundreds of miles later down the road, because this is what I've done on the last 2 trips, it won't move. It won't even move. So I don't have to pack it up, put it away, do nothing. I take it out, I put that shelf in place, I put the CPAP on it. The weight of the CPAP even kind of sits on there. It's got that silicone grippy covering to it, so it doesn't even move. As much driving and turning as I do, nothing happens. So it's amazing. I love the thing. So I will keep you guys updated as I travel on. Next will be, like I said, Wyoming. I'm probably going to drive maybe 6 to 8 hours today. That'll put me really close to being there. Last night here at the Iowa truck stop, and right now even still, here I'll show you. It's really, really wet. It's really rainy. And we had horrible storms all night. So I had to basically get used to the rain, and it was kind of therapeutic in a way, but it was also a little loud at first. And yeah, I slept okay. Probably got about 6 hours of sleep in total, which is really good. And now I'm gonna make the Keurig is turned on back here, so I'm gonna put some water in it and make a little coffee and get me going for the road. And I'm not really hungry this morning, so I've got my stove with me. I've got a little mini pan. I've even got eggs in the Alpi-Cool. I'm not really hungry at the moment. I do have the Hot Logic going, like I said, so maybe a couple, 2-3 hours, I'll pull over, take a rest stop, get gas, something like that, and eat that meal instead of like a breakfast meal. But I'll be making some eggs and stuff soon too. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy seeing some of this stuff. When I get to Wyoming, I'll straighten up the van as to how I had it before I left. I was in a huge rush to try and get the oil change, get a haircut, get a bunch of stuff done before I was leaving because I had just gotten back from Boyne Mountain. So I brought all the bags in, I unpacked, I repacked, and I threw it all in the van, and I had to get everything going, and I was trying to stick to a schedule of getting on the road by noon because I had some stops I had to make. I had to pick up a laptop, I had to pick up some paint, and these were all timed things, so I was trying to stick to that for just being courteous to them because they were expecting me at certain times. But so I didn't really get a chance to do a quick walkthrough because it's changed each time, like I said, of the van and the layout. So I will do that when I get to Wyoming. I will kind of reconfigure things to the way it was when I left, and I'll do a quick walkthrough so I can show you guys the evolution of trip number 3 now, of what I've changed, what I've taken out, what I've added in. Of course, that new Ac200P, I'm going to be fully reviewing it after this trip to see how much I get out of it and how much better I can do with it. I was using a 500 and a 300 watt battery, and between my CPAP and my fridge and everything, it was killing the thing. And I was constantly charging one while I was using the other, and it was kind of a pain. So I'm thinking with all the little stops that I have at the timeshare, at my buddies out in Wyoming, down in Albuquerque at Stacy's brothers, things like that, I'll be able to just plug a cord in and charge this thing right up to 100%. And being the larger capacity with the larger inverter on it, I think I'm going to be doing very well in terms of battery life and battery power. I used the CPAP. I did not run back there and check the little meter, but I'm pretty sure it's barely even down compared to those 300 and 500 watt batteries that kept dying quickly when I would use all those things during the day and all day long. And then if I throw my laptop on, it would kill it quick too. So follow along if you want to see more of this journey. And towards the end of this journey, the last couple, maybe like 7 days of it will be with Stacy. So you'll have something more fun to watch with her input, because she has not traveled in the van as a camper yet. She's more of the Hampton Inn girl. So, or the timeshare girl. We come by it honest. We get those timeshares and we have all that accrued credit that if we don't use them, we lose them. So, we are using them. So I'm sure there's going to be people out there giving us the strike of, oh, you're staying in a timeshare. But you know what? They're free, and we're going to lose them anyway. So we're going to book these things and make trips around them and stay at campgrounds or Cracker Barrels, or like in this case, the I-80 largest truck stop ever, and just have fun with it, because, life is short. We've had some cancer scares recently. We've lost some people that we love unexpectedly to cancer and to the virus stuff that's going on out there in the world that I don't want to say the word of, because I don't want to bring it into reality for anybody. But yes, we have lost loved ones, and we have gone through personal cancer scares of our own. And we just realized, you know what? We might not have a lot of money. We can't afford a big RV. We can't do all the things that we want to do. But we got a minivan, and we can make it into a camper. And we could just go, and we could still have as much fun as possible. And that's our philosophy and our theory. And hopefully you guys get inspired by that too, or just enjoy hanging out with us. So we will talk to you soon. And once I get to Wyoming, I will update things and show you guys the van on a version 3 trip, version 3 of the van. So I hope you all are having a great one. And if you're getting out there on adventures or planning adventures, just do it. Just do it. Just go for it. Try not to get too worked up about it and worry about, schedules and sticking to things, because, that's part of the fun, and part of the journey is just going out there and doing it and experiencing it. So have fun, and we will talk to you soon.